Hey guys, alright, so 15 minutes after I uploaded that last video, the cops were knocking on my door. I'm not making this up. I did not make that vision. Okay, the last video I uploaded, I'd recommend you download that one and download this one. The last video was a vision that I had last night about a Manchurian candidate, okay? An EMP and a Technicolor dream coat or something. Anyway, something really weird is going on. I'm telling you, I uploaded that video and not within 15 minutes, there was a knock on my door and I was in the shower, but I looked out they rang the doorbell and I looked out the window and there was a cop car and I didn't answer it because I don't have to answer it. I don't answer the door for people and there's no reason for the cops to be knocking on my door, you guys. I'm a good citizen. I'm just trying to look at the time. I pay my taxes. I've tried to do what I'm supposed to do as a single mom, which is I've tried to get a job and I've tried to put my son in daycare, but every daycare I put my son in, he starts exhibiting strange behavior, and I've told you guys some of that stuff, but there have been marks and other things, and I'm telling you, he's been in like 4 different daycares. I am not putting him in another daycare. He's exhibiting behavior that is just not, when he's in daycare, he's exhibiting behavior that tells me he's being abused. Once he gets out of daycare, it goes away. The behavior goes away. And then as soon as I put him back into daycare, a different daycare, it comes back. So I don't know if there's just Satanists at every single daycare. I don't know what's going on, you guys. I'm just telling you that after what happened with that last TI video I told you about, with them people at work describing what my son was wearing and what he eats for lunch at daycare, and that weird truck that was following me around that last day around my son's daycare, I don't feel safe putting my son in daycare. And if I can't put my son in daycare, I can't work unless I'm working at home, and I don't know how that's going to work. But I just wanted to tell you guys that the cops were knocking on my door after I uploaded that video. And I also want to just make clear that I don't have anything against Obama. I never did have anything against Obama. I don't know anything about politics. I was a musical theater performer. Maybe it's wrong for me to not care about politics, okay? And a lot of people probably hate me because I don't care about politics. I'm just telling you the facts, okay? And the facts are, I've never cared about politics. I don't have any feelings about anything. I don't have any political opinions, okay? I'm an artist, and anyway, I'm telling you the visions that I see because I believe that that's what I'm supposed to do, and I will continue to do so as long as I have the means to do so, and because I believe that that's what I'm supposed to do. But I am not imagining these visions because I don't care about politics. I wouldn't imagine something like that. I am being shown these visions, okay? And some of them have come true, so it's proof that I'm not just making it up off the top of my head. You go back and you look at some of my visions that have come true after the fact. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you guys that because these gang stalkers it's getting more and more escalated. Now they have the cops. Some new guy moved into my apartment complex, and he came over to my house because his son wanted to play in the sprinkler that was in front of my yard. Well, there were like all these other parents and all these other kids out there, and I had just gotten home from the grocery store, and I was talking to my neighbor. And this guy comes over and he acts like my son wanted to come over and play at my house. Well, my son is only 2 years old. He doesn't play with other children yet. I mean, he does kinda, but it's not like a situation where, I don't know, I just feel like this new neighbor that's moved into my apartment complex is a gang stalker. Anytime, it's been going on for 20 years, and anytime I move to a new place, people move out and new people move in, and stuff happens. For example, the job program I was in the other state that I lived in, they fired the 80% of the staff and rehired a whole new staff while I was there. And the new staff member that they brought in was taunting me about things that happened when I was like 7, 8, 9 years old. That there's no way she could have known about that stuff, you guys. So I'm used to this stuff happening, and now I'm thinking, what is this guy doing? And I don't know what's going on. I don't know why these people are stalking and harassing me, but now they have the cops knocking on my door. I don't know why. It started, I first noticed it in 95 or 96, and I'm just going to tell you guys just really quick, because I don't want to rant, but I just want to tell you guys really quick some possibilities for why I was targeted. I don't know why, but here's some possibilities. In 1993, my best friend was targeted. Now, this is before any of us even knew what a targeted individual was. We didn't even have the words to describe it. But the things that she was describing to me back then, I now look back and say, oh, yeah, that's classic gang stalking, like people climbing on her roof and stuff like that, and things going missing in her apartment, and just people talking about her private life when she's at the store, and, things like that. Well, she was my best friend, and so when she was really distraught about what was going on, and I helped her, and I went, I remember one time she called me really late at night, and she was like, oh my God, I'm so scared. There was somebody on the roof. And I went over to her house because I was like, if somebody's on their roof, they need to talk to me because I will freaking kill them. I mean, it's pretty stupid because, they probably would have killed me, but I don't know why I was like that. I wanted to support her is what it was. I wanted to be there as support for her, and plus I wanted to find out if there's something going on. I want to know what it is, because when she first started telling me about it, it sounded really weird to me. I mean, I'd never heard about anything like that, and but I believed her. I didn't, you know what I mean? And I watched a radio show the other day, and you guys should go watch it because it's really good, and the lady knows what she's talking about. And I mean, she knows. She's got it down what the TIs are saying. And I mean, I don't know if any of us really know what's going on, so I'm not going to say that it's like right in the sense that she's one of the gang stalkers and knows, because she's not a gang stalker, but she's got it down as far as like what's actually going on with us. And it's in my targeted individuals playlist. Go check it out if you want to. But I was listening to her the other day, and she was saying, well, if you ever help another TI, you're going to get targeted. You're going to become a TI. So that's a possibility, because I remember my friend was describing this stuff in 1993. Just as a side note, her friend, another girl that I had met through her, was murdered in 1997, and it's an unsolved mystery. My roommate was murdered, and I'm not sure when she was murdered, but I saw it on television. I saw her on an unsolved mystery program in 1998. My roommate, a totally separate individual, okay? The girl that I was a roommate with in 1992, she was murdered, and she was on Unsolved Mysteries, and I saw the show in 1998, but I don't remember when she was murdered. And then my best friend, the one that was a target that I was trying to help in 1993, her friend, a girl that she had known that I had actually I only was around her like one time. She was just an acquaintance, but she was murdered in 1997, and that one's unsolved. So I'm telling you, you guys, I don't know what's going on here, but it's serious. And the other thing that possibly is the reason I'm targeted, because I don't know if that's the reason, but another possible thing is my father, was a law enforcement. He worked in law enforcement, so who knows? Maybe some criminal wanted to attack his kids. The other possibility, because I told you some of this weird stuff started when I was only 9 years old. The other possibility, though, is that in 1994, my mom filed a report with her church about me having been abused by one of their priests. And the reason that I told my mom, in 1994 was because I saw this little 9-year-old. I had gone to church with her, and just one day, just to be nice, I don't go to that church, but I'd gone to church with her. I saw this little girl interacting with that same priest, and I was really worried about that little girl, and I felt in my heart that it was my duty to say something and to say, you know what, you need to watch out for this guy. He abuses children. I don't want to get into details because I hate that when people get into details and you're like, I didn't want to hear that. So I'm not going to do that to you guys. But just suffice it to say that the gang stalking started in 95 or 96. I'm not sure exactly when it started because I can only tell you when I first noticed it. When total strangers, started coming up to me in the grocery store and things like that and saying things to me about my private life. That started in like 95 or 96. I'm not sure because I just know that I was living in this one apartment when it first started happening. And I was in that apartment 95, 96. So I'm not really sure. But and maybe it even started in 94, I'm not sure, but my mom filed that report with the church in 1994. That's what I'm saying. And that little girl, the 9-year-old girl that I was telling you about, that I was worried about, the whole reason I ever even reported it, the whole reason my mom even reported it to the church, and possibly the reason why I've been gang stalked for the past 17 to 20 years, is because of that little girl. And that little girl committed suicide when she was 16 years old. I think she was 16 years old, I'm not sure, but she committed suicide in like 2003. And she had been complaining about that priest before she committed suicide. So I'm telling you guys, I don't know what's going on here, but those are 3 different possibilities that I'm saying, oh, my friend from 1993, my mom reporting to the church the abuse in 1994, and then the other and my dad, maybe it's because my dad was a law enforcement officer, and then the other possibility is I worked in Japan as a musical theater performer. I worked in Japan for 6 months in 94 and 95. So then the other thing was I started having apocalyptic dreams around 95, 96 as well. I had never really had, as far as I know, I had never really had anything like that before. And I started having dreams about a huge tidal wave hitting Los Angeles. I was living in Los Angeles at that time. Anyway, I just want you guys to know what's going on. I want you to know that the cops just knocked on my door 15 minutes after I uploaded that video. I don't know if it's related or not, but you're not going to hear anything about Jesse. I just told you about how Jesse Woodrow disappeared after talking about Obama. You won't hear anything about him on the internet anymore because it's been removed. So all his videos that he used to do about the coming tribulation and all that, he was a Christian. He used to be an actor, and then he became a hardcore Christian, and he had a radio show. And so now all you will see is a bunch of stupid, crappy stuff that he did before he became before he had his radio show. It's just stuff that he did when he was like doing acting. Anyway, the only reason I mention that is because he went missing, and a lot of people believe that he went missing. But what happened was he started uploading weird stuff on his channel, and that just wasn't him. It wasn't his personality, and pretty much everybody knew that it wasn't him. But what can you do? I mean, I don't know, but I just think there's something really, really freaking weird going on. I know there's weird stuff going on in my own life, and I just want you guys to know. I want you guys to know what's going on, so that if something happens to me, you'll know. You'll be able to say, yeah, we heard it from her. We heard what was going on from her, instead of having to listen to a bunch of lies that they tell, because they tell so many lies about people. After you're gone, they tell all these lies. And they're throwing Christians in prison right now, you guys. It's already happening. It's not something that's going to happen in the future. It's already happening now.